It started with lights in the sky, not meteors, not planes, not fireworks. These lights moved together, silent, coordinated, and intelligent. On a chilly night in late 2024, hundreds of people across New Jersey stepped outside, looked up, and saw something that didn't belong. A swarm. At first, they thought it was a prank, then a test, and finally, something they couldn't explain. Welcome back to the Silent Files, where we dig up the strange, the verified, and the stuff that still keeps government agencies pretending not to look nervous. Follow or subscribe now for more true mysteries that refuse to stay buried. The first reports came in just after 8 p.m. on November 13th, 2024. Residents near Picatinny Arsenal, a U.S. Army base in Morris County, New Jersey, noticed strange lights hovering in the night sky. They weren't blinking like aircraft lights, they didn't make a sound, and they weren't going away. A witness told CBS News, "They looked like a swarm, like they knew where they were going." Within hours, sightings spread. New York, Pennsylvania, even southern New Jersey. Clusters of lights moving in sync, 5, sometimes 10 at a time, tracing geometric shapes above neighborhoods and military installations. Law enforcement flooded 911 dispatch centers with reports, but there was one small problem. Radar wasn't picking them up. Either these weren't drones, or they were drones that didn't want to be seen. And for the record, if I ever see something like that, I'm going full nope mode. Lights off, curtains drawn, dog gets one chance to save himself. For the next several nights, the swarm came back. Videos poured in, small white orbs hovering in triangular formation, drifting slowly across the horizon like synchronized jellyfish. In some clips, they vanished all at once, as if someone flipped a switch. In others, they shot off at speeds drones simply shouldn't have. The local police called the FAA called Homeland Security called the FBI, and the FBI called a press conference. They admitted they had no idea who was flying the drones or what they were doing. And if there's one thing scarier than the government lying to you, it's when they tell the truth. Over time, analysts started noticing patterns. The drones weren't random, they were mapping something. Clusters appeared over power stations, reservoirs, communication towers, and military sites. Each time, the formation moved slowly, deliberately, as if scanning. The swarm showed up again in late November over Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, a key U.S. Air Force hub. Coincidence? Maybe. But that base is also home to aircraft designed to detect other aircraft. And somehow, they didn't see a thing. In December, a few brave or bored residents tried to follow the lights in their cars. One driver said the lights moved like a flock of birds. Another said they seemed to react when my headlights hit them. And one guy, bless his heart, just said, "I think it was Uber Eats, but like really advanced." The FBI officially opened an investigation in mid-November, citing public safety and potential espionage concerns. Military officials claimed no responsibility. Commercial drone companies denied involvement, and hobbyists, well, most of them were too busy arguing online about propeller noise profiles to be credible suspects. The FAA issued temporary flight restrictions across parts of New Jersey, and for a few nights, the skies went quiet. Then, the lights came back. When explanations failed, Theories multiplied, and they came in 5 distinct flavors. 1. Corporate testing gone wrong. Some suspected the swarm was part of a logistics experiment, companies testing coordinated drone deliveries or surveillance. After all, 2024 was the year drone regulations loosened in several US states, but no one ever stepped forward to claim it, and corporate America doesn't do anonymous. 2. Military or government black project. This theory gained traction fast. Was it a classified test of autonomous swarm flight, a new counter-drone system, or an electronic warfare exercise designed to see how civilians would react? If so, the experiment was a success because everyone was very, very confused. 3. Foreign adversary reconnaissance. Given the proximity to sensitive sites, some suggested foreign intelligence operations. China, Russia, or even non-state actors testing drone swarms near US air defenses. That theory picked up steam after the CSIS think tank published a report on swarm vulnerabilities in Western airspace. It didn't confirm anything, but it did say, quote, "The sky will never again be uncontested," which is both ominous and metal as hell. 4. Mass misidentification. Skeptics argued the lights were simply misidentified aircraft, balloons, or bright planets distorted by atmospheric haze. In fairness, once people start seeing drones, they see them everywhere. It's like buying a Jeep and suddenly noticing every other car on the road is also a Jeep. But this theory hit a snag. Multiple witnesses captured videos of coordinated formations, and radar techs confirmed anomalous returns over New Jersey that week. That's a lot of misidentification. And then there's the 5th theory, the one you can't quite say out loud without someone raising an eyebrow. That maybe these weren't drones, at least not the kind we build. A few witnesses claimed to see no rotors, no sound, and movement impossible for conventional drones. Instantaneous changes in altitude and speed. One FAA technician described objects jumping 20 miles in seconds. Another said if those were drones, they broke physics. And maybe they did. It turns out the New Jersey swarm wasn't unique. Throughout 2024, similar incidents popped up across the US and Europe. Clusters of unidentified drones over nuclear plants in France, oil terminals in Norway, and military sites in Poland. Every country said the same thing. It wasn't us. Some suggested the swarms might be part of a distributed system, a network of drones operating autonomously, using AI coordination and mesh communication. In other words, the machines are talking to each other. We just don't know what they're saying, which, coincidentally, is also how most people describe Twitter. Sorry, X. By December, government agencies issued statements. The FBI urged residents not to interfere with the drones, calling them a potential national security concern. The FAA acknowledged multiple ongoing investigations, and lawmakers in New Jersey even proposed declaring a temporary state of emergency to restrict airspace. Then, in early 2025, the reports stopped. The lights vanished. No arrests, no announcements, just silence. If this were a movie, this is where the camera would pan out, fade to black, and show a line of data scrolling across a government monitor labeled unresolved incidents. Except this isn't a movie. This actually happened. Since then, analysts have tried to piece together what was really going on. The best guess: a mix of civilian, military, and unauthorized drone flights overlapping in time and place, creating the illusion of a single massive swarm. But that still doesn't explain why some objects left no radar trace, why none of the operators ever came forward, or why the formations seemed too precise for coincidence. If these were hobbyists, they were the most organized hobbyists in human history. And if they weren't, well, here's where it gets unsettling. Swarm drones aren't science fiction anymore. They're military assets, capable of overwhelming defenses by sheer numbers. Each one cheap, expendable, and smart. If 50 drones could move like a school of fish over New Jersey without anyone taking credit, imagine what 1,000 could do. The real mystery might not be who was flying them, but why they stopped. Because if they were a test, maybe the test is over, and the next phase has already begun somewhere else. So, what do we make of the drone swarm of 2024? A miscommunication of modern airspace? A classified military rehearsal? Or a glimpse of a future where the sky itself becomes sentient? Whatever they were, they showed us something new. That mystery doesn't always come from above the stars. Sometimes it's built right here on Earth, and it's already learning to fly. This was the Silent Files. Follow or subscribe for more true mysteries that refuse to stay buried. And until next time, keep your feet on the ground and your eyes on the sky.